Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to finally our first look at the release trailer for Ancient Cities. Coming soon to Steam, in fact, coming very soon to Steam on December 17th, 2020. You can finally take command of your forces, your troops, your people when you build your very own ancient city in this game. Now, if you loved Donna Man on the channel, then you're absolutely going to love this game. It is going to be a real treat. And the developer sent over their early access trailer as well as some extra footage that you may not have seen elsewhere. So stay tuned as we go over the game and also analyze the trailer a little bit more. Now, this game starts in the Mesolithic era, and you'll have to guide your people through generations, discovering and improving technologies and managing resources and population, and then eventually face threats from raiders and, of course, Mother Nature herself, and then ultimately build one of the most fantastic cities in Antiquity? They wrote here anyway. I'm reading off the script, but listen, this is a really cool game. I'm reading literally what's on the Steam store page, and what I see here is a real big promise for what I want in a modern ancient city builder, if you know what I mean. We're not talking about the days of Caesar or Emperor, Rise of the Middle Kingdom. We're now talking about games where literally each person in your city can be incredibly valuable for getting everything done, from hunting to gathering to building to also restoring damaged areas, repairs and such like that. And of course, you can also migrate with your people. You can tell them to settle down, build defenses around your city. You can build walls and gates, very similar to Donna Man. If you've seen that before, this game is really promising for a unique experience in that time frame. And I'm very excited to see exactly how many people you can put into a village, how they'll react, how things will work, and of course to build a city that looks very realistic and also can stand the test of time against both Mother Nature and the raiders that they talked about so much before. Wow, it's very cool to see people walking around on screen too. And again, remember, these are early access looks at the game, so things might not look perfect at the moment, but there's been a lot of love at least put into the buildings, and of course in a city builder, it's very important that that be greatly detailed. A lot of the people kind of look mushy and whatnot in these views, but I wouldn't judge it just by the cover of the book here that we're seeing, but I want to get really into it to see its systems and see how things work, and see if I can also try to make things happen on my own. See if we can get fights and battles and things to go on against other tribes, and it would be great to see this game be multiplayer too. Of course, at this point, I'm just talking about the fantasies and my wants and hopes, but I think it's about time that we see the trailer for ourselves and find out when this game comes out, which of course is December 17th, 2020. Let's watch this trailer. It'll reveal the release date, and then we will talk more about the trailer and the game. All right, that's one heck of a trailer. I've got to say, one of the most impressive things to me so far in this game is just the landscape itself, both from lush springs and summers to very eerie looking winters and falls. And of course, when the big hunt is complete and when the harvest is complete, that's what you're trying to survive the entire year. And I love seeing things be placed in this game. One thing that stuck out was the city building. The placing of all the structures really seems a lot more free than most games. It still seems to kind of be on a grid structure, or it shows you that there's a minor grid where things could overlap with each other or interlock. But here, it seems like things are much more free to build, and there's many different structures to build too. You see a few of these homes being placed, you see fences being put down, wells and areas to make tools and weaponry, and that's very important. One thing that I really like too in the trailer is the gathering resources from the actual UI of the game itself. Not just the landscape, but to order your people to go here and circle a few trees for them to cut down. It's very much like Black and White from long ago. And of course here you see them getting things ready to store for the winter, and then making tools to go out on the hunt or to gather those things that they may have found. Berries or fruits might still be gathered by stick instead of by hand. And of course weapons to protect themselves from beasts and animals that may come around. And of course, the ability to build temples and whatnot, to actually make carvings and statues. And look at that, some dancing going on too. They are partying tonight. Look at that. Yeah, they're growing and socializing, I guess. But of course, building defenses around your city is going to be the most impressive thing, and that will require the most amount of resources. To cut down an entire forest in order to wall your city off and keep it safe from predators or raiders or whatnot is very important. You definitely don't want your people to be wounded or hurt or possibly kidnapped or killed in battles, and it'll take quite some time to build those walls around your city. As you can see here, they've just put up a few small areas in order to defend the town, and that's going to be something to look forward to in Ancient Cities. Keep in mind, again, this is December 17th, 2020, that we only get the early access. If there's anything here that you don't like or that doesn't look promising, at least we have this as a foundation, a base, and it looks very good for a step forward, I believe, from Dawn of Man, where it's a much more detailed game, and I hope it goes on much longer with more detail, where to get to the end game it's more arduous and there's much more to do along the way. Even looking at things such as the bottom of that river there shows that there's a little bit more detail in this game than previous games that we've seen of the type. And this, again, is not that type of a pharaoh or emperor rise of the Middle Kingdom, but where the individual can really make a difference here, where we see one man coming over to build the tent after the frame has been put down. And that seems how city building is going to go in this game, where you'll place down a building or a series of buildings and then have several people come over to actually construct them, and then have all the materials nearby in order for it to be constructed. For example, all that hay over there could definitely go towards building roofs of huts or feeding animals, and we could possibly could see farming and such in this game very soon. Even though we're going into early access and haven't seen that yet, it doesn't mean that it's not yet in the game, but I would assume that they're going to put a lot of polish on the beginning of the game, where you first and most importantly have to establish your tribe and your people, and then eventually take care of them through the years. Once you've gotten started, things get a little easier, but maybe I've spoken too soon, because you all know, if you played these types of games before, there's always something that lurks out there or lingers in the distance that might be stalking you. And I'm not just talking about animals, it could also be Mother Nature itself, or possibly building your city too big and too quickly and running out of food. But time will tell, and experiments will, I guess, put down the bricks of truth and pave the road to greatness when it comes to trial and error of finding out exactly how the game works differently from other games. Man, that is an absolutely gorgeous sight too. The day-night cycle looks gorgeous. I'm hoping too in this game that we can turn that off, where we can just see it day all the time or night all the time, or a mix of both. Of course, people are probably sleeping at nighttime, and of course it seems like it'll be the type of game to have a day-night cycle and of course a yearly cycle. So that'll be important to kind of keep track of time. Maybe it'll be like every 3 days and the season will change or something like that. We've all seen time be accelerated or modified in order to fit a game like that. But look at the movements of the people. Look at the water. It's very, very nice to see. And I'm hoping to see some fishing here too, where we can actually see the fish in the water and the people to go to the shores and actually catch them or spear them as they go close. Now, some of this footage might be slowed down from the dev, or there might be issues on their side. Oh, there we go. We see a little fishing by hand, possibly, to lay a net. But also some large reeds on the side. It almost looks like corn. That's so large. But of course, that's where our people will get all the materials to build their homes from, and I'm really excited to see how far this game will go. Now, I use Dawn of Man as a good waypoint for this game, because Dawn of Man is probably the most complete ancient building game that I can think of in this type of more modern art style or more modern UI. So it'll be really nice to see if we can go from building huts of animal skins all the way up to huts that are made of more manufactured stone and thatch, and of course have clay and such inside the homes in order to create hearths for stoves and making food at home rather than just taking things from a granary and bringing it to a campfire. But it does seem like the campfire will be important in this game. A lot of dancing around the campfire, a lot of preparing meals around the campfires, and of course, ever important to be near a river, a water source, where travel and trade might be important, and of course, possibly using it as an advantage against invaders. Putting your village on one side of the water and then walling it off means that if they have to come from across the river, if you're in some watchtowers, or if you have the walls defended, it's going to be a lot more difficult for the enemy to attack. But all that aside, I think what we have here is a game that I'm very excited to play and that I cannot wait to get my hands on. So again, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, now's a great time to click or tap that subscribe button, and also smash the like button too, so you don't miss out on possible future giveaways of this game and many, many more. You can jump on our Discord too and follow me on Twitter. All the links are down below in the description if you want a chance to win this game for free. I might possibly get some extra copies or give some away by buying them myself. And of course, check out the game on the channel shortly before December 17th, 2020. It's been a pleasure to have you here. I hope you're all excited for what looms around. Oh boy, what could that be? That looks like something running. I don't know. Whatever awaits us around the corner. I will see you all very soon. Until next time, everybody, take care. Thanks for all the support and positivity on the channel, and I can't wait to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye, everybody, and have a good one.